at least help at a joint event with them, and maybe we do some visiting from unis to unis and promote what's in Durham, and for them to promote what they have. Yeah.
So how can you ensure that the relationship between Dermus and UKEC? How can you ensure that?
How can I ensure it? It means in.
It means like in terms of like promoting the events like from you guys and also from UKEC, and also like because we have some AGM, OGM, like all these events who I will need your president or vice presidents. How will you communicate between your presidents and me, like regional chairperson?
I'll try to answer that question. Since I think I'm the bridge between the UKEC and the president itself, so I know that my role is very important as a PR to make Dumas stays connected with UKEC. So like what Nat did is, from my perspective, is she keeps contacting with you, and instead of having a formal communication, she make friends with you. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
So if I pass some like events or message to you, how can you ensure that it reach to like Dermus or like all the Malaysians here?
We have the Facebook page here, since I think that's the very convenient way to communicate, or at least we have the Facebook Messenger for each Stockton and Durham representative, so we can spread through that thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Yes.
Can I have join Ecosen and then Shani and then Amy?
You stress quite a lot about using UMNOR as a possible sponsorship, but since UMNOR is like, I'm guessing you mean the political party UMNOR, right?
Yeah.
Malaysian politics is not the most clear cut, I think that we can all agree. Do you think that having a political party such as UMNOR as a sponsorship could deter to some problems within the society and make it feel like, as it's not very inclusive, as some people in the society might not believe for their values and might not support that? Do you think there's any problems with using UMNOR?
I don't think there's any problem. If there is any problem, if we keep on, we keep on stressing about it. But if we just keep focusing on getting a sponsorship from them, I think instead of maybe conducting many events with them, I think so. Getting sponsorship from UMNO is a very big thing for
Yeah, sure.
But for example, so if you were able to obtain a sponsorship from UMNOR, you would have to publish it on, for example, our Facebook group and our website. But wouldn't you think that such information being published is quite sensitive? And it's quite sensitive to maybe future sponsorships or future other corporate firms who do not believe in the views of UMNOR, or maybe do not want to get involved with that. Would that deter us from getting sponsorships from, say, neutral corporate firms?
Yeah.
And do you find that to be a problem? So.
Actually, UMNO is one of my suggestions, and I know it's hard to make that kind of sponsorship. And since I know Joey has gone through a lot of kind of getting sponsorship, so maybe I'll just continue what you did, and also I'll try to make a better, I'll find a better sponsorship in the future.
Shani?
I have the same question as Joey.
Okay, what about Amy?
Me? My question is, I see, I remember you singing a song really good last time. And also for, you mentioned to collaborate with other societies, but I think this is a really good point. And I do see like, in like Asian culture, we share some like similarities, and like there's potential to collaborate with Chinese society or Hong Kong society or others. But something Deepti mentioned, I think is a really good point, is she said like sometimes like when collaborate this kind of events, not like compromise too much of our characteristics. For example, like last year, what Chinese society and Hong Kong society do, they do like a collaborate events for Halloween. But this kind of night out parties, and this is the option. And the other options that the for what I do, like last year, I organized like we try to do like Chinese society and then like invite a bit like from other society, though just like like members come, but we try to make like food events. So do you think there's some events like could be available or some is not really a good choice? Like for example, I mentioned like for like a food event or like food festival or some night out parties, or what do you think is available with this?
I think the very best thing is when we make a full event where we can represent all of our culture. And my suggestion is I'm not sure yet, but if I became a PR, I'm looking for a collaboration with Indonesia and Thailand actually, because I'm looking to find a collaboration with some country which near with Malaysia first, and then maybe if it is highly accepted, so I can proceed to many other countries. But making a full event may be a bit problem through maybe some funding, or we can't spread the expenses very well. But if every executive give their teamwork, so I think it can very properly done. And the people, what I wanted is people from the UK itself, people from Durham, which from UK or Europe itself, came to our event and watch what the Malaysian is actually, what the Thailand is, and what the Indonesian is. Does that answer your question? Thank you.